Welcome to the first episode of the NFL Review Show. I'm Cole Sharf. As always, I'm with my co-host Anthony Fielding. How's it going today, man? How you doing?
Pretty good. You?
You know, just out here in Texas, living the dream out here in the fucking rainy ass weather. They've had rain every single day we've been down here. Don't mind those legs in the background. That's just my coworker Izzy sprawled out on the bed like a female, so his legs are just right there in the picture. It's all good. You know how we do it. We just go off the top of the head. Let's bring it up. Let's start it off hot. Let's get it going. I know you're not happy about that Bills game. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not happy at all. I came into the season already questioning, who we've been getting rid of and how our offense is going to be. And I literally thought that our defense was going to be able to at least play behind our offense, give our offense a couple chances and stuff. And the way that we just showed up was abysmal. I mean, you got the Ravens, who don't really have an offense. People are already starting to question Flacco, and then we're seeing Teddy Bridgewater come in the game for certain like running sets. So I'm thinking, maybe Flacco's almost on his way out, and he ends up putting up 3 touchdowns on our secondary. I mean, granted, our offense didn't even get a first down in the first half.
Woo!
Peterman, our starter, 26 yards. I think McCoy had 4 carries, and two of those carries were called back for holding penalties. So he only had 20 yards. It was just bad all the way around. I mean, our special teams wasn't really bad. I mean, we did all right there. Murphy, he had 5 returns, averaged 30 yards a return. So there's some. I mean, it's not all negative, but just it's not what we were used to seeing off the playoff team from last year. So. And
I will say that them putting up 47 points, I expected that to be the highest score of the weekend. But then, as we all know, what happened last night on Monday Night Football. My fucking team looked better than they've looked in 10 fucking years. And I know it's only one game, and I'm not saying we're going to go to the Super Bowl or even make the playoffs. But we dominated on all 3 phases of the game. Special teams, defense, and fucking offense. Darnold's first pass as a pro, of course, has to be a pick 6. You know what I mean? It was just a horrible throw. He threw it all the way across the fucking field. I don't even know what he was thinking. But then he went 16 for 20 after that. I'll take it. Our offensive line was supposed to be the weakest part of our team, and they were opening holes. We had running. Both of our running backs did good shit. Isaiah Correll had 110 rushing yards on 10 carries. I'll take that any day of the week. And I told everybody Crowell was going to be a beast. Darnold had 116 QBR. After he threw that pick 6, he had a 144 QBR, a perfect quarterback rating. If he didn't have that pick 6, he would have had a perfect quarterback rating. 116 is the 4th highest. The only other quarterback to win by 31 points in their debut is Tom Brady. So, hey, things are looking good. Like I said, I know it's only one fucking game, but he definitely looks like he belongs out there. You know what I mean? He looked like he belonged out there for sure. So I was pumped up with that. But I will say we got our first touchdown on defense since 2013, and it was Darren Lee. Everybody shit on Darren Lee for the last 2 years because we drafted him out of Ohio State, and he hasn't made plays yet. He had the highest grade as any defensive player in the NFL in Week 1, over Khalil Mack, who we saw what the fuck he did. So I'll take it. Obviously, they got to keep it up. I like what Todd Bowles said after the game. He said, listen, we haven't won shit yet. We got to try even harder to get better for next week. So if we can keep up that intensity and keep it going, I think we'll be a surprise team in the NFL this year. And I've been saying that since the season became close. And obviously, I'm biased because I'm a Jets fan. But if it becomes true, then I really wasn't that biased.
It is a good point because you got Buffalo taking a step back. I'm pretty sure they're tanking for next year when we get all that cap space, over $100 million, and then Miami getting rid of even more players. And they did pull out a win against Tennessee, which I thought Tennessee. I don't know if it was they made Miami look good or if Tennessee is just that bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, Delaney Walker breaks his ankle. That was fucking nasty.
It was gruesome.
And the final in that Tennessee game was 27-20, but there was like 4 weather delays, and that fucks with people. Honestly,
the longest game in history.
Yeah, we play Miami week 2 at home, so I'm anxious to see what turns out there. And I was definitely surprised that they beat Tennessee. I expected Tennessee to take that next step and become a playoff team. But obviously, you know, everything changes every year. I think that the New England Patriots, obviously they won 27-20 over Houston. It's fucking New England, you know, Brady to Gronk. Gronk even said after the game, he's like, Tom Brady's crazy. He just throws the ball up, and it was right there, and I didn't expect him to throw it. I had a guy pulling me down, a guy trying to tackle me, and he still threw it up to me. That just shows the trust we have in each other. So you know what? New England's going to be New England. Let's talk about Cleveland and Pittsburgh, though. Cleveland started first non-loss in 13 seasons for a home opener, but they didn't get the win either. Like Trey Wingo's tweet was like, Cleveland ended their losing streak the most Cleveland way possible, and I love it because they didn't get a win, but they didn't get a loss against a tough Pittsburgh team.
Yeah, and I think I see the stat that says Cleveland's best start since 2006.
Yeah,
so there's another positive right there.
That's insane. But what about John Connor, man? That dude fucking stepped up. I think that they will trade Le'Veon Bell before it's too late.
Yeah, what? I mean, the only takeaway with that is, like, you didn't see him receiving out of the backfield, but I can't say they didn't need it because they did tie it, but there's the only thing that Le'Veon brings as a running back. He can line up at receiver, and just kill it. But it definitely will be interesting because, you know, they've been building up that line for years, and that line actually looks pretty good. Ben Roethlisberger did not 5 turnovers. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna. Cleveland's defense did improve drastically, but still, you're a vet in the game playing against, you know, a division rival. Five turnovers is
like that Stafford last night. I mean, he threw 4 picks, and then Castle came in and threw a pick against us, and it's like, dude, these vets are out here throwing picks already. Like it's going out of style. I don't understand it, but hey, whatever. It's a new season. There's 15 more games to go, so obviously teams will improve, teams will get worse. Shit's gonna change. Overall, I'm just happy football's back. College football, NFL football, et cetera, et cetera. It's just nice to have football to watch again when there's, you know, especially when you're stuck in a hotel room for fucking 3 weeks. At least we got football.
Right.
So, then another surprise to me was Tampa Bay beating New Orleans 48-40. Fitzpatrick doing those things, man. The quarterback killer, bro. Anywhere he goes, he ends up starting somehow and goes off for 4 weeks. They'll give him a 4-year, $70 million contract, and then he'll win 3 more games.
Yeah, somehow he outgoes Drew Brees. And, you know, that's shocking right there. You know, there's a lot of people in fantasy that stayed away from Tampa Bay this year just because they didn't know the quarterback situation. And, you know, we both know who Fitzy is. You know, he can go hot, but then go cold real quick. So.
Yep. I was surprised. I don't think if they're 3-0 by the time Winston's back, I don't think Winston gets his starting job back. I think Winston sits on the bench. I've been having debates about it on Facebook. I think Winston's on his way out of Tampa Bay. I don't think they like the kind of guy he is off the field. He's never really won anything anyways on the field. So I don't see why they would keep that headache. And obviously Fitzpatrick's not going to be around much longer, but if he's playing like that, why are you going to bench him? You ain't going to bench him.
This is the upside of their offense. You know, the receiver core that they got is killer.
Well, yeah, Deshaun Jackson had, 2 touchdowns? One of them was 60 yards. He didn't do that at all last year with Winston. So it's like, hey, you know, that's one thing Fitzpatrick's always been good at, man. He just chucks that fucking ball up. Most of the time it works out. Sometimes, obviously, it doesn't. But 90% of the time it works out. So I was surprised that they beat New Orleans like that. Kansas City beat the Chargers, which everybody said the Chargers were going to win that division, and it's their division to lose. And then Patrick Mahomes come out and fucking lights up the skies, and that bad man Tyreek Hill, you know, dude, 5 foot.
Yeah.
5 foot nothing, just fucking shredding defenses. It's insane.
Yeah, I don't really want to go out and say that the Chargers don't look that good. I mean, they lost by 10 points. They put up points against Kansas City. Just that Kansas City offense is going to be really tough to stop. I don't care who you are. I mean, that quarterback's young now. Maybe that's the lead they need in the playoffs because Alex Smith seems like he can't perform in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's hard to say week 1, but there's a lot of teams that did look good. There's a lot of shocking stuff that happened, and then there's a lot of teams that look like shit.
Speaking of teams that look like shit, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys. 8 fucking points. Are you kidding me? I mean, Carolina's got a good defense, but they ain't no world beaters. Honestly, I think Dak's been exposed. I think they figured out Dak Prescott that he can't handle pressure, and their offensive line isn't as dominant as it has been in the past. And I mean, to score 8 points when you got Ezekiel Elliott on that team, and you just picked up Hearns, and you got Cole Beasley, and but like them missing Dez Bryant and Jason Witten is really, really fucking hurting their team.
Yeah, it is. It's like you're gonna get rid of a player like Dez. You know, you should be able to have an option to replace him. You know, especially if your quarterbacks used to having him there. And you know, they said that people were saying Dez is falling off and all that, but like I don't think so. I think that's quarterback problems right there. And Zeke only carrying the ball 21 times. You know, you can't do that. You got to run the ball, especially against Carolina.
Yep. They were predictable, as everybody said. Their offense was predictable, and Dak Prescott's been exposed. I said it last year, and I'll say it until he proves me wrong. Ever since his first year, his rookie year, he came in the league and lit the shit up, and then everybody had film on him, and look what happened. He ain't been the same since. I know, and then let's talk about Washington for a second. Alex Smith looked great. He looked great. The Washington Redskins look like they're for real in that division. That's Jay Gruden finally getting him to go, but let's see what he can do in the playoffs. He's never been able to win in the playoffs. And I mean, if Reed can stay healthy, he'll be huge for that offense.
Yeah, Jordan Reed, yeah.
Dude's a beast. He can just never stay healthy.
And Washington, they got a nice little defense. I mean, they don't really get the credit for it, just because their offense hasn't been too good recent years. Which, I mean, I don't know why. I don't know what problems. What's his name was having Cousins. I don't know what problems he was having, because it seemed like Washington might have had a team, but Alex Smith looks like a right fit for him.
Yep.
Out there in Washington.
Yep.
So.
Let's go back to the Cowboys real quick. Randy Gregory, it's reported that Randy Gregory failed another drug test and relapsed, man. Dude fought so hard to get back in the NFL, fucking about to play his first game, clean, sober, whatever, and you're going to fucking relapse. They haven't said what he relapsed on, but since they said relapse, I'm assuming it's weed. Listen, everybody knows I love weed. I've smoked weed for fucking pretty much my whole life, since I could. But if it was down to me making millions and millions of dollars or smoking a fucking joint, I'm going to make the millions and millions of dollars for the 10 years you get to play in the league and then smoke pounds and pounds of weed when I'm done playing. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's just, come on.
And then the term they use relapse, like it's some kind of, like, I mean, I understand the definition of relapse, but it just sounds funny.
Yeah.
For like a weed.
You relapse on weed, man. How dare you? You smoke some weed, that devil lettuce. But speaking of that, I was going to save this for the end because it was probably the best game of the week, in my opinion, that Packers-Bears game, because A-Rod's a fucking bad man, dude. That dude is a bad fucking man. In my opinion, he's the most talented overall quarterback in the NFL, period. You know what I mean? Obviously, Brady's the best because of the rings and all that shit, but overall talent-wise and shit like that, he is the best.
Yeah.
But let's talk about how high he looked after the game. You know what I mean? That dude looked fucked up because they were shoving pain pills down his throat because of his knee, right?
Yeah.
IV
and all that.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, why not let him fucking smoke a joint instead of shoving pain pills down his throat? Whatever, it don't matter to me. But the fact that we know a Bears fan and Neems, our boy Neems is a huge Bear fan. He was actually in Omaha for the game. And I was talking to him. I'm like, oh, my God, the fucking Bears are shitting on him. Khalil Mack's going to fucking take you guys to the next level. And then A-Rod comes back, dude, and just fucking – it's just insane, man. That dude is –
Just watching it, and then, like, see Aaron Rodgers come back on the field. We all look at each other like, uh-oh.
Yep. Not good.
But the thing is Khalil Mack, he's not in full shape. He had 9 days to prepare to play football after that hold on. I mean, granted, he was probably, getting in shape, but full game for him, it wasn't there yet. So that I mean, you could take that as the Bears, a positive, because when he's able to play a full 4 quarters, what's the possibility that can happen? Because the Bears did play some good football, and I kind of like Trubisky. I think he played well. I mean,
dude, I was just gonna say that I like Trubisky. I think he's gonna be a good quarterback for them, and they finally got some receiver help in Robinson. That dude's a beast. He's always been underrated.
Allen Robinson.
Yeah. So, like I said, fuck week 1's back, baby. I love it. Indianapolis versus Cincinnati. Andrew Luck started off slow, but then he finally started showing signs of being Andrew Luck again. Yes, they lost 34-23, but Andrew Luck looks like he's back, so I'm happy about that. I've always liked Andrew Luck.
Yeah, and then that safety from the Bengals. Bengals always playing dirty.
Yeah, dude.
He got kicked out of the game, and if you watch that hit, there was no need for it. He was already going down, man, helmet to helmet.
Cole clocked the fuck out of that dude, man, for no reason. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh, his first game back, we're going to get a concussion. He's going to get a concussion, and he's going to be out. Because I drafted him in 2 of my leagues this year in fantasy football. I'm like, oh, he's back. He's going to light it up with T.Y. Hilton. It's going to go down. And then he started slow, and it fucking was like, what the fuck? And then he finally got it going. So speaking of fantasy football, we can talk about that here more in a minute, but I'm going to segue into the fucking second game of the Monday night game last night. Derek Carr is fucking trash. That dude is trash. I was playing my mother in my family league. My mother. And I was down by 30 with the fucking Robbie Anderson and the Jets defense left. I ended up going up by like 10, and I have Robert Woods to play, and she has the Rams defense. And this dude couldn't even connect on a fucking 5-yard check down route. He threw 3 or 4 interceptions. Yeah, 3 interceptions, and the last one he threw, I'm just like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you even looking at? If you got 2 minutes left, you're down by 13, and you want to throw a 5-yard check down? Fucking push the ball downfield, man. What the fuck? Give me a cheap touchdown. Now I got to listen to my mom go on about how she beat me in fantasy football and shit.
This is because of the Rams defense.
Dude, the Rams might be the best defense on paper, and it looked like they looked pretty fucking good last night. No one's going to be able to move the ball on them.
One thing I do like about Oakland is they fought them. Everybody knew they didn't have a chance. That first half, they played well, minus some turnovers that they had, but it's gonna be a while before the Raiders get good.
The Raiders have the oldest team in the NFL. Did you know that? Yeah. I like to see John Gruden back on the sideline. It makes me happy to see that he's back on the sideline and coaching again, doing what he loves. And you could tell he was pissed off. He was back to making his facial expressions real quick. I've always liked John Gruden. I think he's a good coach. I honestly think that they didn't handle the Max situation right. They had 0 pass rush last night. 0 pass rush last night. 0 whatsoever.
Yeah, and what's his name got 2 targets? I think their number 1 receiver.
Yeah.
He only got targeted like twice, and the tight end.
Cook, isn't it Cooks or Cook?
Yeah, he got like 10 targets. Like, come on now, that can't happen.
Yeah, Derek Carr kept checking the ball down, man. I don't understand. He was scared to push. Ever since his injury, he hasn't been the same, you know. And it sucks because I really like Carr. You know, my wife and shit, they're all Raiders fans on that side of the fucking field. So I try and root for him just because, unless we're playing each other. But they got their asses destroyed in the second half. It was a tale of 2 halves. That brings us to Philly and Atlanta. I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna piss a lot of people off, especially Atlanta fans. Matt Ryan is the most overrated quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
I mean, every time there's a big moment, the dude chokes. They had the ball, I think it was on the 7-yard line. 3 attempts to go at the end zone before the clock ran out. He didn't make one good throw. Not one throw was good. Yeah.
You got Julio Jones having like 5 inches on Ronald Darby. Which Ronald Darby didn't play a good game, but you can't cover Julio Jones. The dude's just a monster. But you got to throw that in bounds.
Yeah.
You out-jumped him on the sideline, lead him backwards, trying to get his feet in. It's like, let's throw it up to him. That's one-on-one coverage.
Yep, exactly. It's Julio fucking Jones. No one can cover him one-on-one on a fade route. Nobody. I don't care who you are. He would burn Revis 9 out of 10 times on a fade route in one-on-one coverage. So, Matt Ryan just consistently does it over and over again. Just chokes in big moments. Like we saw what happened in the Super Bowl. Yeah, his defense gave up 23 points, but if you remember, he took a huge sack fumble that gave the Patriots the ball right back in one of those situations. As a star quarterback, you can't do that.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is like they fired their offensive coordinator for that, and now they got Sarkisian, and it's still the same thing. I think they threw the ball for like 46 times and ran the ball like 12.
Yep.
Like that's nuts.
And they have a 2-headed monster at running back with Coleman and Freeman. Like, take advantage of that. What are you doing? Use that shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? And then let's talk about the $30 million quarterback versus Jimmy Garoppolo, who's never lost a start. Minnesota wins 24-16. Garoppolo, since going on a date with a porn star, 0-1. I saw that meme on the internet. That shit was funny. But, hey, Minnesota won, obviously, but they didn't look like world beaters like everybody expected them to be. They look vulnerable in some areas.
Yeah, but I mean, Kirk Cousins still played some good ball. Made a lot of good throws. I honestly think Kirk Cousins is good. I just don't know what the situation there was in Washington. Maybe it wasn't getting paid. I don't know. But I think the Vikings are gonna be good. I think Kirk can get some wins in the playoffs. So,
We'll see. I just don't. The dude's never won anything. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it always comes down to for me, is like winning. Like, Aaron Rodgers has only got one Super Bowl, but he's got one Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like that dude, and like we just said, that dude is the best.
And about that, like, nobody really talks about McCarthy over there. Like, you have the quarterback that can do those kind of things, and for you, technically for you to win one Super Bowl, I mean, you made it to a couple conference championships, but. I mean, I don't know. Like, do you put him on the hot seat?
Yeah, I mean, because if A-Rod's in New England, I don't know if New England loses one Super Bowl they're in.
No. And Tom Brady even said it. He's like, if he had the coaching that I had, not saying McCarthy's a bad coach, but if he had the coaching that I had, and I guess he said, man, a way to, like, be able to read the defenses, which, after I heard that, I kind of was like, it kind of makes sense, because it does look like A-Rod just throws the ball wherever he wants.
Yep.
But he's just so accurate.
It's insane.
How easy he makes it look.
It's
crazy.
It's insane.
It's
Insane. That dude is a savage. And then I think that brings us to our last one, which I don't know why I saved this. No, we got two more. Good. I'm not going to give Denver the fucking finale. Denver beat Seattle 27-24. I did not expect that to happen. I expected Seattle to win that game. But one good positive thing is Brandon Marshall scored a touchdown for Seattle. He looked back to being in his form, which is good. I've always liked Marshall, even before he played for the Jets. When he played for the Bears, I liked Brandon Marshall. So it's good to see him back. But I did not. That might be my upset of the week when it's all said and done. I'll ask a couple of questions here when we get done about the week, but that might be my upset of the week, was Denver beating Seattle.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really watch too much of that game, but it definitely was shocking. I mean, you got a new quarterback in Denver. They actually can throw the ball. They finally have a quarterback that can throw the ball.
I like Case Keenum. Case Keenum's never gotten the respect and the shit that he deserves. I like Case Keenum. I think he deserves more credit. He's not a bad quarterback. I mean, look where he took Minnesota. That's what I mean. If Kirk Cousins can't take Minnesota farther than Case Keenum, he ain't worth the money you're paying him, because you had a guy there that took him to where they wanted to be.
Yeah, for less money.
Yeah, for way less money. Yep, way less money. All right, so again, I don't know. I need to do a better job next week of putting these in a better order, because I'm kind of all over the place. But with me working out of town in Dallas and you working, 10 hours a day and shit, it was kind of hard to get ready real quick, because I was up until fucking 1:30 in the morning watching the Raiders get their ass kicked because Derek Carr can't even throw a check down. Cost me a game in fantasy football against my mother. Jesus Christ. New York Giants versus Jacksonville. Was a great game. That was on TV here in the hotel room, and Saquon Barkley's the real deal. That dude's a fucking. I told the league we're in together. Everybody was talking shit like, "Oh, how are you gonna take Saquon that high? How are you gonna take Saquon that high?" I'm like, dude, yeah, it was only one game, but the fucking dude is a savage. The dude is gonna go down as a top 5 running back of all time when it's all said and done, barring any crazy injuries. He will go down as a top 5 running back.
Yeah. What did he get? Like a buck 8 touchdown this first NFL game?
Yep, exactly.
With the Giants, who haven't had a running game in I don't know how long.
Well, but here's my thing. What are the Giants going to do when Eli retires in 2 years? What are the Giants going to do?
I don't know. It seems to me Eli can't play during the regular season for some reason. I have no idea. But when he gets to the playoffs, it's like light flickers in there, and all he's focused on is Brady. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's not a fucking regular season quarterback.
We do got to talk about how Jalen Ramsey kind of got destroyed by Odell Beckham Jr. after all that shit he was talking about.
When he had 111 yards receiving, he didn't have no touchdowns, but you gave up a 100-yard receiver. Even though Beck was one of the only people you gave credit to after he was talking all that shit to everybody.
Yep.
But he said Eli's trash. It's easy to just throw the ball up to Beckham. Like, one of the pick it off.
Yeah, then if he's just throwing it up, pick it off. You said that dude wasn't gonna bust 100 on you, and he busted 100 on you. So shut your mouth.
That's only week 1.
Yeah. You already gave up a 100-yard receiver in week 1 after all that shit you've been talking. So now you didn't even back it up the first opportunity you had. Now all these other quarterbacks you brought up, I hope they fucking shred you. Listen, I know it's good for the game, and Ramsey's good, and it's entertainment. I'm not saying, hey, quit doing it. I like it, but if you're gonna do it, you put yourself in position to not back yourself up. So.
Yeah, you gotta back yourself. Yeah, back your talk up.
All right, real quick, we're gonna, like I said, this is just gonna be the pilot episode, a short little episode. I got a couple questions though. Surprise of week 1 for you.
Surprise? I'm gonna say Denver. I thought they were gonna suck. I mean, I'm kind of biased just because of what we got. Talk so much shit, but Denver beat Seattle. That's crazy.
Yep.
I wouldn't have thought that would happen.
Prediction, surprise, the opposite way, like who you thought was gonna be really good but played like shit.
Buffalo? No. I might say Buffalo. I know this season's going to be rough, but I want to say Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland plays some good football, and they could have won, but T.J. Watt's pretty good fucking player.
Yep, exactly. So I'm going to be biased on my answer. My surprise of the week is my fucking New York Jets. I mean, I did not expect them to come out and look like they did last night. That is the most.
A lot of people that did it.
That's the most dominating performance I've seen from my team in over probably 10 years. And honestly, the Lions only scored 10 points on our defense because 7 of them was on a pick 6 on the first play of the game. And honestly, that field goal that they got before the half shouldn't have been a field goal because that dude picked it off and they didn't fucking review it. But hey, whatever. It is what it is. They didn't want Stafford to have 5 picks in one half, so I get it. It's cool. But that's my surprise of the week was my New York Jets. Call me biased, call me whatever you want, but that's how I feel because, like I said, scoring 48 points, I don't think we've scored 48 points in fucking 25 years. You know what I mean? And to do it with a rookie quarterback, granted we had a pick 6 and a punt return, but that means we scored 34 points on offense. I don't think we've done that in fucking 15 years. So I think it's nice. Bowles finally has his players. He can finally run his 3 safety system that was so successful in Arizona when he was there. It's the first time he got to run it because we got Avery Williamson. I'm just saying, watch out. Like I said, we're not going to go to the Super Bowl. We have a rookie quarterback. No rookie quarterback's ever done that before, I don't think. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't think so. Was Russell Wilson a rookie when he won his first Super Bowl? Or was it his second year?
No, I think he was the first rookie quarterback to win the Super Bowl.
He was? Here, let me look that up real quick. But if he was, then hey, then maybe that gives me a little bit more hope, and I'll fucking stick with it. But they surprised me. And my biggest shock for like being shitty is going to be the Arizona Cardinals. They are just completely trash. I mean, I knew they weren't going to be, super good, but to be completely trash. Yeah, no rookie quarterback has ever won or even started a Super Bowl game.
Okay. I think Wilson was the first black, African American to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but it was year 2. I know that. He won it in year 2. It didn't take him long to win it. So, yeah.
I think it might have been first rookie, to start all season and go to the playoffs or something.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he won it year 2. So hey, whatever. But I'm just excited with where we're at. I'm ready for Sunday. I don't even give a fuck. Let's skip every single day of the week and just go to fucking football days.
Yeah, I don't know. We got the Chargers. And we all know how Peterman played against them last year. So.
Is Peterman starting again?
I mean, I don't know. It just sucks because you can't really throw Josh Allen in there to the dogs. I mean, our offensive line is that's probably that's probably the weakest part of our offense. I mean, there's got to be reasons we're not running the football, especially in the rain in Baltimore.
Does Buffalo go 0-16?
No, we don't go 1-16. I mean, we're going to play you guys twice.
I know you guys, hey, it goes 1-1 every year. I know that's that.
We got Miami, and I think we play Cleveland, so we get a Tyrod Taylor reunion. But, I don't think we go 1-16.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not going to be like last year.
Yeah, check this out. So we played Monday night, we play Miami Sunday night, and then after Sunday night we play Cleveland Thursday. We have 3 games in 11 days. Talk about putting a rookie in the fucking spotlight.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he does. But everybody's saying, man, he's the real fucking deal. So everyone's saying Cleveland is going to regret it, and New York Giants are going to regret it when Eli retires and they have nobody to take over his job. So we'll see.
I mean, Cleveland's used to blowing their first picks anyway. So.
Yeah, well, I think Baker's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. I think Baker's going to be good, but he ain't going to play as long as Tyrod's there. Tyrod's a better quarterback. He knows what he's doing. So.
Yeah, but it's a good learning experience, and like, who would have thought that Baker would even want to be in that position? But he's all ears and eyes pretty much right now.
Yeah, he's definitely surprised me with how he's handled being the backup and just accepting it and all that shit. So.
Oh yeah, that's a big step. You know, being the man in college, you know, all those years, and then coming into the NFL and taking the back seat.
Yeah.
But I think that's good for quarterbacks when you actually have like a veteran that you can play behind.
Yeah.
Unlike our situation.
I know this is the NFL review. We're going to sneak this in here. We're both diehard Husker fans. We finally got to see our Huskers play the second week of the season because Mother Nature wanted to shit on our parade the first week and just fucking piss us off. But overall, yeah, we lost the game. We lost to Colorado. You know, it was a tale of two halves. We dominated the first half. The second half, we slowed down a little bit. Colorado's caught on film being dirty and twisting our quarterback's knee while he's on the ground for a couple seconds, and now he's hurt with an MCL sprain.
Yeah.
But what I will take out of it is 90% of those players on that roster are the same players we had the last 3 years, or the last 2 years. And the way we were dominating the line of scrimmage is just so fucking promising in my eyes. We had 7 sacks. We had 14 sacks all of last year. Yeah. We had 245 rushing yards in the first half. We didn't have one game last year with more than 225 rushing yards. I am just pumped. Yeah, I would have much rather had the win, and obviously, you know what I'm saying, but at least to just see and be excited and see that the players are playing for the ends on their helmet instead of like, oh, hip hip hooray after a 45-point loss. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to see that shit. So I'm happy we're back to where we should have been, and we'll see what happens. It's gonna take a couple years. Our quarterback situation is a little scary with only having one scholarship quarterback, and he got hurt week 1. So we'll see. The only negatives is.
But the bunch, you know, he came in and he threw that third and long play.
You got to catch that, man.
You know, that supposed to have been caught. You know, we shot ourselves in the foot multiple times.
Yeah, and
everybody seemed like they were ready to play, no matter what the situation. Everybody made plays.
Well, apparently we played 25 different players on the defensive side of the ball, so that's a lot of substitutions. That's getting everybody reps. Dude, I don't think we subbed more than 3 defensive players at all last year to show that we have 25 guys on defense ready to step in and make a fucking play to the level that the coach thinks they can do what they're supposed to do. Is an awesome sight to see. So you know what I mean? So I think with Troy, when we play Troy this week, we need to let our freshman cornerbacks and the backup cornerbacks get some more reps. That was the weakest part to the game and to our team was not our safeties, our cornerbacks was our weakest part, I think. We gave up a lot of third and longs.
Yeah, but that number 2 for Colorado, they said he's only like 2 inches shorter than Julio Jones and runs a 4.40. That dude's pretty good.
Yeah, he's
yards the week before, 170 yards against us.
Yeah, he's a savage. He's a savage.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, thank you for listening. Follow me on Twitter at It's My Time Now 18. We'll be here every single Tuesday throughout the whole season, all the way up until the Super Bowl. We'll talk about more stuff next week. We'll be more prepared. I'll be back in Nebraska hopefully by next Tuesday, but probably not. If not, I'll start working on it. But there won't be a double header, so that'll give me more time on Monday night to get ready, and so I don't have to be at work all day. Because out here I have to work a weird shift. But thank you guys for listening. Support, share, put the word out. If you want to come on and talk about it with us one week, come on. Let's do it. Have you come on. I'm anxious to do that. I want to do that. I think we're going to go to the Dallas Cowboys New York Giants game this Sunday, so that'll be fucking cool, and I'll have some inside photos and shit for that up here. Follow me on SoundCloud. Just type in Cole Sharf on Apple Podcast, Cole Sharf on Anchor, Cole Sharf. Not very creative with the name yet, but my following's building under that name, so I don't want to change it just yet. I want to get to a following, to a standpoint where I can change it and everybody can follow over. Also, YouTube at Cole Sports Corner Podcast on YouTube. Thank you, Anthony, for your time. Appreciate it. Hopefully,
Talk about football.
Oh yeah, love football. It's the best time of year. Hopefully Buffalo steps it up for you. I was telling your brother, I was like, ooh, I would hate to be at the garage today. I wonder if they're even watching the Bills game anymore. Did you guys finish it?
We changed it when I wanted to change it. Like when Peter was starting to get in the third quarter, I was like, no, I want to watch Josh Allen come on, see how he plays a little bit. So we changed it and watch the rest of that Titans and Patriots game.
Yep.
Rooting for the not the Titans, the Texans. Rooting for the Texans.
So apparently, real quick, I know I always do this. I always say goodbye and then always start another conversation. But apparently, this hotel just got bought out that we're remodeling, and they're putting in Sunday ticket, bro. What hotel has got Sunday fucking ticket? I was like, you know how many people that's gonna get to stay here on Sundays? People are just gonna pull. Yeah, people are gonna just pull off on. People are just gonna pull off on the side of the road and fucking. Oh, let's just stay here. They got Sunday ticket. I was like, you got Sunday ticket up on your big board. You'll be stocked on Sundays, dude. You'll be stocked on Sundays. So I'm hoping he gets it done by Sunday because obviously I'm not gonna be able to find a Jets game out here unless we go all the way to B-Dubs again. But. All right, guys, thank you. Check us out next Tuesday. Also, What Have They Done to Our Sport will be recorded and released by Thursday, so I appreciate that. And we will see you guys next week.
Peace.